remorse hits New York City hard. New York City, many would say, is like the top capitalistic city in the world. For God's sakes, Wall Street is in New York. Look up all the skyscrapers, all the businesses in Manhattan. It's a capitalistic city who elected a Democrat socialist. Watch this video on their remorse already. I'm laughing because I'm older now. I voted for Obama twice. Yes, we can was the motto. I believed him. For the most part, I voted for him because he was a black. I'm black. In my life, I want to see a black president before I die, and I believe we should see another one, but we need to see the right one. I have buyer's remorse because Obama didn't do anything for the black population. And not saying I'm looking for a president to do something for the black population. I want a president who's going to do something for all people. But I brought Obama. I bought him back in 2008 and 2000. I re-elected and re-voted for him in 2012. Buyer's remorse. And New York City fell for the same hook, line, and sinker with this Zaharan Madani. He gave them all these promises, which, as the mayor, he can't deliver. He cannot deliver. But folks voted for him because, folks want free stuff. But watch this video really quick, and I'll come back with some additional commentary.
Remember these excuses, okay? Because you're going to be hearing them a lot. Governor Hochul. Governor Hochul is not raising the taxes on the rich. It's Governor Hochul's fault. Trump, he's not sending federal funds. He want to starve New Yorkers. It's Trump's fault. I can't give you all of these socialist things. They're not taxing the rich. Remember those excuses, right? So middle class, I know we said we gonna raise your taxes, but but New Yorkers are starving. It's only 1 percentage point. It's only a percentage point. You know that boat that you saved for. You retired. You wanted to go fishing. We gonna have to dip into that fund. You wanted to send your kids to private school so they didn't get indoctrinated by the woke bullshit. Your kids gonna have to go to public school, middle class. I know you worked hard to give them a nice life away from the city, but we're gonna need some of that, okay, to pay for it, all right? Don't worry, it's only temporary. Temporary is their favorite word. It's only gonna be temporary, middle class. Once we get rid of Hochul and Trump, then we can tax the rich. But for now, we gonna have to you gonna have to trust us, middle class. Trust us on this one. Trust me, bro. Yeah. Okay. This dude's absolutely right. What we do know about this is that what's going on in New York, the top 1% are already responsible for, almost 50% of the tax base. And the remainder of the taxes are basically received from middle class. What we do know is that you have the top folks, they're getting up out of there in droves. I'm gonna share this clip with you guys because there's a lot of people, they're already putting these homes for sale. They're looking for real estate in other states. It's already happening. And the lower middle class and the middle class, those are going to be the people that's going to suffer because you're going to have some people that say, hey, I don't ever want to leave New York. And you're going to have some people that really can't afford to leave New York even though they want to. And those are going to be the people that pay the price. It's unfortunate, but let's continue down this rabbit hole here. Hit that like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep going.
Some New Yorkers are thinking of packing up and getting out already. They call it the Mamdani migration. The New York Post is reporting that real estate agents are getting flooded with phone calls. Luxury real estate agent Brian Serhant told the Post that his number one job will be moving people from New York to Florida again. And based on the results, clients are going to hold off on making any kind of investment in New York City.
I gotta say this. If you are a New Yorker, you are planning to leave, please leave your politics in the city and state of New York. Don't go south with your foolishness. Don't do it.
Lydia Moynihan knows all about this. She's a financial correspondent at the Post and broke this story. Lydia, I had a bunch of my friends over the weekend when they saw this coming saying, oh my goodness, I wish I sold last year. This is a nightmare. How could this be happening? So, is this Mamdani migration a real thing?
I think it is, and I hate to say that. Look, what's not surprising is it in the wake of him clinching that Democratic nomination that wealthy people, really anyone with sort of a vested interest in the city, was exploring options of where they could move. Florida, of course, is a well trodden path at this point, but what's much more concerning is the fact that people are actually walking away from deals. So people who were either in process of signing and purchasing an apartment or potentially eyeing buying something in the future, they're walking away. And so for the next 4 months, I think we're going to see a decrease in the investment in New York City. Anyone with a business is going to be a little hesitant. And of course, that's going to be amplified for 4 years.
Well, he has been elected, and yeah, businesses are either going to get up out of there. People who wanted to start businesses and people who wanted to invest in New York City, they are going to decide, at least over these next 4 years, that hey, that's not a smart business move. It's just not intelligent. As long as you have this guy in office, and as long as you have people that support this particular individual, it's not something that folks are going to do. They're just not going to do it. But
So there you have it. Zohran Madami. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. 34 years old. Never worked a real job. You know, he used to be a rapper. No, I'm knocking rappers. I love rap music, the old school rap music. He never did nothing. He sold people a bag of goods, and people who want free stuff voted for him. Let me give you a little history about myself. I'm a black man born in this country, born in Baltimore, raised in Baltimore City. I lived with my mother and father, divorced when I was young. We moved there with my grandparents, and I lived with my grandmother and grandfather for about 10 years with my mother and my twin sister, then my younger sister. Me, my mother, and my twin sister, my younger sister, we shared a bedroom in Baltimore City. We shared a bedroom. Then we moved out when we was about 12 or 13. We moved to Baltimore County because my mother wanted to get us out of the city because she wanted to give us better schooling. Now, when we moved to Baltimore County, we moved into a two-bedroom apartment, and me and my twin sister shared a bedroom until we was like 15 years old. I'm using this to say this: when my mother moved out from living with my grandparents, she worked two jobs. Me and my twin sister, we had to get our own jobs. I started working at the age of 13 at Dunkin' Donuts. How many of y'all like Dunkin' Donuts coffee? How many of y'all, what my Dunkin' Donut coffees? I started working at Dunkin' Donuts at 13, and my mother charged me and my sister. She started working at this company called Atman's. It was a delicatessen company, and we both were so happy to get a job at 13 years old because my mom told us, "Hey, you all want the Nikes, the Adidas, all stuff. I can't afford it right now. I'm working two jobs to pay for the bills." And my mother never got on welfare. Now, my grandparents, when we lived with them, we was on welfare. We used to go down to Baltimore City, and once a month you would get the block cheese, the powdered milk, and all of the fake cornflakes because we had to live, we had to survive. But my mother did not want to stay on welfare. So when we moved to Baltimore County, she said, She came off welfare. She worked for the Federal Reserve, and she worked for Macy's, and she worked two jobs, and she took care of us. When we started working at 13, me and my twin, she charged us $5 a paycheck. And back then in the late 80s, $5 a paycheck was like, what are you doing, mom? Are you crazy? This is like half my check. But she taught us a valuable lesson about accountability, paying bills. I thought it was the worst thing back then, but now it's the best thing. She taught me and my sister accountability. $5 per check. And then as we grew, she still charged us rent, didn't need it, but I was happy to give my mother $20 a check when I started getting more money, or $50 a check when I was working. I was in my late teens and through college. I was happy to put money in my mother's dresser because I watched her struggle. I watched her struggle. Never on welfare, never had a lights cut off, never had food not in our refrigerator. And I watched my mother struggle, but I watched her succeed. She succeeded. And I learned a valuable lesson: hard work, dedication. Here I am years later, blessed and highly favored by God. Now, we are a capitalistic society. The United States of America is a capitalistic society with social tenets. I believe in helping those who need help. The Bible says we help the poor, the orphans, the widows, the disabled, the people who can't help themselves. We are commanded to help them. And I'm all about helping folks who can't do for themselves. But we are living in a society now where folks who are able bodies have learned to manipulate the system, learn how to use the government, take our hard earned tax money, and live off the system. I have a friend who has a sister. She has 4 kids by 4 fathers. And each child, she gets government assistance. She lives in subsidized housing. She gets child support, and she works the system. Never worked a hard day in her life. She works the system. And it's many folks like her. Many, I ain't say most, many who learn how to work the system, and they believe that welfare is their way of life. It's not. It's there to help you. We all need a hand up, not a handout. So my mother taught us the benefits of hard work and dedication. And here we are years later reaping the fruits of labor. Now, New York, I love New York. I go there every year for what did I say, for New Year's Eve. I love going there. I love the big city. I love the buildings. I love getting a nice hotel overlooking the city. I love New York City. No place like it. The landscape, when you look at it over the Hudson River, is beautiful. I love New York City. But what they've just done, they may have caused themselves a problem. Now, the other candidates, Cuomo and those folks, maybe should have hired that guy who started the Guardian Angels. He's a New Yorker who knew about safety and policing. But they chose someone who promised them everything, was not going to be able to deliver. Folks say they hate the wealthy. Now, let's understand this. Listen to this. I work for Amazon, and Amazon has done well for me. Do I work hard? Yeah, I work very hard. Very hard. 50, 60 hours a week sometimes, especially now in the holiday season. But I'm rewarded. Jeff Bezos started this company and he grew this company. And Jeff Bezos was a hardworking man. And now he is a multi billionaire. I don't hate on him because if you see the work they put in to get this company started, do you know how many millionaires Jeff Bezos has made through Amazon? Do you know how many millionaires um, the owner of Tesla has made? So now, I'm not saying that we should give somebody $1 trillion contract. When you get to that kind of money, that gets kind of atrocious. That's kind of like, wow, like, come on, man. How much money does someone really need? But these folks who started these businesses put in a lot of effort. And not saying they're perfect people by any stretch of the imagination, but they put in a lot of effort and they got these businesses, Teslas, the Amazons, the Microsofts, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And now they're reaping billions. Yeah, and I'm not saying that everybody should get that's kind I mean, how much does a person really need? But that's another topic for another day. But the thing I'm trying to help us understand is this: these billionaires, these own these companies have made people wealthy and they've given people jobs. Amazon, people hate on Amazon. But do you know how much Amazon gives back? Do you know Amazon gives their level one employees free college tuition if you work a full-time job, 40 hours? They'll pay for your college tuition. They'll help you get skills and so forth to become to get more high paying jobs. Do you know that? People talk about how much Amazon works us to death and Jeff Bezos. Do you understand? People who don't work for Amazon don't understand how much we give back, how much we give to our employees. Free healthcare. That's what I said. Amazon gives our level one employees free healthcare. If you're a full-time employee, level one, you get free healthcare. I'm in senior leadership, but my health care is very subsidized through Amazon. I don't pay as much as I did by other companies. So I say all this to say, there are folks in our country who need help. There are folks who need help. There are folks who need help. There are folks who need help. But it should be a hand up, not a handout. And a handout is to the folks who can't do for themselves. If you're elderly, disabled, a orphan, I want to give you all everything we can help you because I don't believe anyone should be starving. Anyone should not have a meal. But for the folks who can work, I watched a video the other day. A man who looked younger than me, who said that they were cutting his SNAP from I think 1,000 to like $300 for him and his 3 kids. He called himself a boss. He says he doesn't work for nobody. He's a boss and he needs to be home with his kids and he's not working for nobody. And how dare we take his money? He called himself a boss. Those are the folks I'm saying get out there. And if you got to work 3 jobs, work them. Do not teach your kids that not working hard and depending consistently on the government is the answer. My mother, she worked hard. When we left our grandparents, she never was on welfare. We never had a light cut off. We never had not had food in the refrigerator. She worked 2 jobs and she worked hard. And she taught me and my sister, my youngest sister, the importance of education and working hard. Me and my 2 sisters, we all have master's degrees. We all went through college. We worked hard. We all do well in life because my mother put that in us. Hard work, dedication will pay off. And that's what we should teach each generation. This country, capitalism is what made this country great. It forces you to innovate and create and be better, compete. We know socialism and communism does not work. It doesn't. Proven. How many history books and how many countries do you got to observe in Europe that adopted socialism and capitalism and say it works? It doesn't. We have strands of socialism that need folks who need help, but ultimately that system of government does not work. New York, I'm gonna sit back, get my popcorn and soda, and watch how this unfolds from this man who promised you everything, who's probably not gonna be able to deliver anything. So here I'm off my social rant, but I'm just want to help folks understand the benefits of hard work and dedication and taking one day at a time and getting ahead in life and growing skill sets to go out there and be a contributing citizen to society. So, Mom, if you see this video, thank you. And my dad, let me not leave my dad. My dad worked for the Postal Service for 40 years. My mom worked for the Federal Reserve for 40 years. They both retired in their mid-60s, worked hard, got nice retirements, and they've done well in life. And my dad, even though he didn't live with us, he was a very instrumental part of my life. And he also taught me the benefits of hard work and dedication. So, Mom and Dad, thank you for which the seeds you planted in me that I'm planting into my daughter, and I hope she plants into her children, and so forth, so forth, and so forth. So, I hope this video helps somebody. If you like it, continue to tune into this channel for Wisdom for Life, and I'll continue to bring content as the Lord lays on me to help those who need help. God bless, and may heaven continue to smile upon you. Be blessed.